Hello fellow old schoolers, welcome to this particular recording. This is a bit different than what I usually do insofar that this recording is just a bunch of games back to back against each other, and the reason for this is because I found a couple of games featuring the composition A in different matchups. I think this is the third, fourth and fifth round of the Swiss in terms of the composition A, and I thought rather than just make a lot of smaller videos with introductions and stuff like that, I'll just make a longer one. So feel free if you to express if you think this is too long in the comment section, and I will reconsider doing it again. But for now we'll have fewer deck techs and just a bunch of games. So it's gonna be a long one. So yeah, sit back with a cold beer or similar and just watch the games. Let's go. And we got me on composition A on the left here. And composition A is like a 5-color mid-range deck with a hybrid, so it's also a combo dreams deck. And Tropical Twister on the right is a blue and green aggro control deck with killer bees and plenty of stuff like that. Starting off with a Pegasus. And he has a Library of Alexandria turn 1 here. So yeah, and I'm writing down all the damage I do with that Pegasus because there's a prize for doing the most damage in this tournament with Mesa Pegasi. So coming up with the Hypnotic Spectre here, I need to start to discard some cards from his hand if I'm allowed to do that, so that I can get him out of range of that Library of Alexandria as fast as possible, as I have no answer for it at this point. Okay, getting just a regular island here. He has a Sylvan Library, so he likely won't be mana screwed here. And he could actually pay some life to keep a card, and that will put him within draw range of that Library of Alexandria. So it will net him 2 cards if he does so, as far as I can see. I think he should. Depending on what he has on his hand, of course. Oh, he's already within range. Never mind. Jacob is a very experienced player. He started off in '93 and has been playing ever since. Started off during the Arabian Nights, I think. He actually was the player that got me into Magic. I started in '94 during the Dark. Well, perhaps the tail end of Antiquities, I can't really remember. I think it was the Dark. Okay, coming over with everything here. 3 points of damage and getting... Oh, I would have loved to see that in play with the Library of Alexandria. There was a Candelabra of Taurus, so he could untap the library several times and use it. So just doing a bunch of damage here, and he needs something to get rid of these big creatures. I'm just aggroing him down, playing a Singia Vampire right here, and there's a factory as well. Just a bunch of creatures. He needs to commit here, I think. Perhaps a Grub of Honey or something. And some blockers. There's a factory, that's a start. Though most of my army is actually a flying circus here. With horses and freaks. With big teeth. Okay, here we come. Keeping back with the factory because he can just block with his own factory. He wouldn't be able to pump his own factory as it has Summoning Sickness. Okay, he berserks the Hypnotic Spectre here. That's a bunch of damage, but at least that's the final card I can pick from his hand here. As that ghost just dies out of exhaustion, but he's down to 4 points of life, I think. Getting a crumble here. And following up with a demon and time walking. Okay, boom. So yeah, that's round 1, and I'm noting a few more damage with that Pegasus, I suppose. So that's 1-0 for composition A against Tropical Twister here. Let's go straight to the second round. For sideboarding, I imagine I'll just put in a bunch of red blasts amongst other things. He'll likely take in some control magic, creature removal, perhaps. Okay, he's mulliganing down to 6 cards here, and he is on the play. Starting off with an island. It's a factory. Not much happening. Another factory. Okay, that's another horsey. That's a Mace of Ith just to counter it. They do function well, I think, in this deck. They, of course, Composition A it's not optimized when you put 4 Mesa Pegasi in it, but it's great fun. I mean, they do a bit more damage at least. Okay, Mind Twisting his hand here. 2 cards though. Tranquility and a drop of honey. Coming over with the Pegasi, and he just lets it get lost in the maze. Okay, there's a Candelabra of Taunos, so now I can use that Mace of Ith 2 times if he wants to. And he might need that as I have a factory now. Underworld Dreams coming out. Those are very, very good against him. So he'll have trouble with removing them. The Tropical Twister has a bunch of counter magic, but he can struggle a bit sometimes when you get stuff out. He can struggle with removing it. Okay, disenchanting the Candelabra of Taunos here. And sinkhole the Mace of Ith. No counter magic from him. That's odd. Getting in with the Mesa Pegasi for a single point of damage. Okay, so he time walks. Gets a counter spell there. And the horsey comes over for another swing with its hoofs. Okay, what's this? Yeah, okay. Sushi coming out. He just straight out counters it. I've taken those in from the sideboard. Those sushis. Back in this tournament, they weren't in the main deck. Okay, so he uses the Brain Guy, so that'll hurt him a bit from that Underworld Dreams. But I suppose he needs to get some more stuff out here. Black Lotus, regrowthing. Oh, regrowthing the Mind Twist. This is the time to punch in because he's tapped out, so he can't counter me. And he's just used Brain Geyser, Ancestral Recall, Tranquility, and Mana Drain. Brutal gut punch here. Though I don't do a lot of damage with that horsey. Yeah, he can start attacking back here. Okay, and he keeps a factory back just to keep my own factory at bay here, and that makes sense. So even though I feel like I've attacked him a lot, he's still at 9 points of life here. Seducing Gem coming out. Okay, so now it'll likely go faster though. Oh man. Yeah, it's a bit of a conundrum because he can block with both factories here. I think I'm banding. I think I'm banding the Juicemjin and the Mr. Pegasus here, because he can double block with his factories and pump them individually to be 3/3, and then he'll trade with only a single factory. But if I band with the Mesa Pegasus, yeah, I control where the damage go. So I can just put all 6 points of damage on the Mesa Pegasus. So yeah, there was a guy on the channel that wanted Juicemjin riding on a Mesa Pegasus. This is it. This is what we see here. Riding straight in. Okay, so the bad part about it is that he can just block both with a single creature, but at least my Juicemjin survives. Otherwise I would have to trade a Juicemjin with a single factory. So banding works, man. Oh, that's a bad hand. Yeah, I just needed to show that I've got nothing here. But I do have a Juicemjin on the back of a Pegasus. So attacking again here. Not banding this time. So he blocks the factory, pumps himself to a 3/3, and gets rid of it. But that's it. Oh, he won't shake my hand. He's a bit annoyed at this point. It's all in good fun. So yeah, that's 2-0 for the Composition A in this matchup. And after this, we'll just go straight to the next round. of the Swiss here. Just getting stuff down and getting ready for the next match. And the next match is with another deck we've seen on this channel, the Spicy Icy. And there's a deck tag on that particular deck in a previous recording. I'll put that in the description. There's also a deck tag on the composition A of this tournament. I'll put that in the description as well, which videos they are on. So, first round here, he starts off with a Sol Ring straight into a Chaos Orb. Very, very good start. It's his hand, that's decent. Sorcerer Plowshare and a copy artifact for that Chaos Orb there. Okay, Mox, Sol Ring, and then cracking his Tundra. Okay, but he has another Tundra in hand there, and a Sorcerer Plowshare to remove anything I'd want to do. Okay, copies the Chaos Orb, I imagine, using the final blue mana to flip on the Sol Ring, and it hits. So just trying to keep me back here, slow me down. But it seems like I have enough mana. Okay, Hypnotic Spectre coming out here. City of Brass from him, he just drew into that, so he's not mana screwed either. Oh, another copy artifact, look at that. And now he can just, let's see if it hits. This is pretty important. Oh, it just about hits there. Would have been pretty bad. It does have that Sorcerer Plowshare in hand though, I suppose, but the pressure just keeps on going here. That's a Dewsum Djinn. I suppose he could have Sorcerer Plowshare the Spectre and then Chaos Orb the Dewsum Djinn instead. It would have netted me fewer lives. But on the other hand, the Dewsum Djinn is out of the game here. So I can't really regrowth it or Time Twister it back. Okay, Brain Geysers here for 3 cards, drawing into a Mox Sapphire here. That's nice for him. Puts him ahead. So far I haven't really gotten in with anything. As an Icy Manipulator, now I need even more attackers. Oh, as a counter spell and a mana drain in hand. So he has 2 blue mana, so he's well equipped to hold me back. The Spicy Icy is a prison deck. Oh yeah, that would be very good against him. He'll likely counter it though. Yeah, there we go. It's a prison deck that functions with taking control of the board with his artifacts, getting out a Psychic Venom or 2 on one of your lands, and then he'll just start tapping it with one of his many Icies and just kill you with that. So he's drawing ahead here, gaining control of the board state, it seems. Out of Alexandria, I have too few cards in hand to use it. And he has a Chaos Orb and the Icy Manipulator, so I need at least 2 threats at this point. There's a Royal Assassin. He has 4 Royal Assassins and I think 4 Icy Manipulators in it, so he can also slice and dice creatures up with that combination, tapping it with an Icy Manipulator and then killing it with a Royal Assassin. It's a very, very cheeky and old school combination. I really like that. Okay, I've just stayed back here drawing into Library of Alexandria range, so now I can just putting out Unreal Dreams and he'll mana drain it. But if I keep on doing this, I think okay, Lightning Bolting his Royal Assassin here. I think the strategy here is just to keep on writing that library and just outdraw him here. But he Sorcerer Plowshares his own Royal Assassin. That's a bit weird, using a Sorcerer Plowshare on that. Oh, that's why he has a balance here. So he wanted to empty his hand, he gained a life from it, and now he empties my hand. So I'm without the Library of Alexandria, and he has regained control of the entire game here. Taps my library at the beginning of my turn and my upkeep with the Icy Manipulator. Putting on a factory, and there's a Psychic Venom. Now he can start to poke me with that. Passing the turn and in my upkeep, he taps the factory so I can't attack with it, and it does 2 points of damage to me. Yeah, so I'm in the luck here. Getting strangled each turn. He pokes me with that Psychic Venom. Another Psychic Venom. Oh man, that's like getting hit with a Serra Angel each turn at this point. And there's still that Chaos Orb that would block anything I can put out. So at 16 points of life here, taking 4 points of damage each turn. And I need at least 2 threats at this point, just to get in. I might have a... I might have a regrowth or something, I don't know. Another Icy Manipulator coming out. This is really bad. Tapping it again for 4 points of damage. So, trying to Mind Twist his single card, and I think he Power Sinks me here. Oh, no, that was perhaps his final card. My upkeep, he taps it again. I'm taking 4 points of damage here. At 8 points of life, I've got 2 turns left. Seal of Brass, regrowthing the Jusum Jin. Should take a point of damage here. Playing the Jusum Jin, not that it matters. He can tap it with his Icy. I'm not sure about that pick. Trying to attack him. No, he taps it. I'll take damage from the Jusum Jin. I don't understand that choice. I don't think it matters. I didn't have a disenchant or anything to threaten him with here. So what did we get here? Oh, Horsey. It won't help. Okay, so Spicy Icy wins this first round. And as for sideboard, I think I took in more Red Blasts and a bunch of artifact removal like Shatters and Divine Offerings on top of the Disenchants. Round 2 he starts off with a Sol Ring here. And I start off with an Ancestral Recall. So that's a good opening. And he follows up with an Icy Manipulator here. He's well ahead in board presence and mana at this point. Okay, Mox Pearl, disenchanting the Icy. Attacks with the Factory, 2 points of damage here. Took a single point of damage from the City of Brass perhaps. So at least we have a full hand here, and I guess we need to get some threats out here. Strip Mining the City of Brass. Okay, I suppose that mana fixes him too much. I have 2 red elemental blasts in my hand, so perhaps I want to stay back a bit. I need to get rid of that Mesa's Factory though. Okay, he wants to recall here, probably the Icy Manipulator, right? Yeah, no matter what, better Red Blast it. We don't want those Icy Manipulators. It's a Factory though. Jusum Jin coming out. Yeah, those Icy Manipulators are quite good against the Jusum Jins, so they can just lock them down, and the Jusum Jins will just kill me. Okay, what's he doing here? Okay, he activates the Factory and then he puts Copy Artifact on it, so now he has 2 factories. And then Psychic Venom on my Factory. Taking a single point of damage from that Jusum Jin. So he can now double block the Jusum Jin with his 2 factories, like the previous game. Jacob could do that, and then he can pump himself and survive with a factory. But he's tapped out, so coming over with the Jusum Jin here. Okay, disenchanting his Copy Artifact. So now I have the Jusum Jin Supreme. Oh, there was a glitch here. Yeah, it just jumped straight forward. Yeah, so that other game, I actually won that, I think with the Dreams combo element, 2 Unreal Dreams and a Time Twister, and the Juicing just helped put him down in life. So we go to this third match here. He's threatening me with that text message, I suppose. This is the third round. That's a bit unfortunate, but there's a lot of games, so sometimes stuff like that happens. There's a Mind Twist turn 1 though. Soaring Mox and a Factory, that's a bunch of cards. Oh man, really brutal here. Now if I have land destruction, I'll usually follow up with that. Yep. Now he's so screwed. I took so many lands out of his hand here. Is it a Juicing? That's Juicing, that's perfect. That's it, I think. Yep. Okay. It has an assist recall and a bunch of stuff in hand, but yeah, no matter. Composition A took this in the third match with an early Mind Twist, a follow-up with land destruction. So we'll just continue the games here. Next up is Spider-Geddon. And Spider-Geddon is from the playgroup of Giant Spider. He has made this playmat. He is the captain of that playgroup. There's Tron, the little robot guy there fighting with the Giant Spider. He's the mascot of Team Tron, an old playgroup in Denmark. We have wrapped in silk back there is the North Star Brewers, the women from that playgroup. We have Half Dane nailed to the wall there. We also have Masters of Presence, so-called after the presence of the master. And up top we have the background there, an angry eel, and that's obviously Aalborg Electric Eels, the playgroup I'm in. So yeah, Team Giant Spider just consuming everyone. It's just a great playmat and a great theme of this deck. Usually plays Geddon, this guy, but yeah, this is Spider-Geddon. I'm mulliganing down to 6 cards here, and this is the fifth round of the Swiss. I'm undefeated until this point. Let's see, 3 Moxen and a Mesa Pegasi. All that mana just for a little horse. That's pretty funny. And he's Atlanta Elf here. But yeah, Jesper on the right here on the Spider-Geddon, he's our resident artist here. He also draws some of the prizes from our local tournaments. And I think he's the only guy in Team Giant Spider. He has refused to join any of the other play groups. And I think he has recruited a couple of guys from his from the small city or the village he's from. So that's pretty cool. A bunch of new players into the play group. 3 players, I think. Attacking with the horsey, he sorts the plowshares it. So yeah, that's like killing a pigeon with a cannon right there, but I suppose it helps a bit. He must have a second source to plowshare in hand. That would be my bet when he uses it like that, but it does makes him dominate the early game here. I think I'm considering Chaos Orbing his Lano Elf just to remove some mana. I don't want an Ernemgen. Next turn, that's a bird though. Didn't attack me. Yeah, so now I should probably perhaps orb the bird. I'm not sure. Regrowthing. No, I can't do that. Never mind. Wanted to regrowth the bird, but that's out of the game because of that source to plowshare. So just, yeah, I can't do that. I'm not playing the land because this smells like an Armageddon variant. And I don't need the mana at this point, and he could just cast Armageddon at any given moment here. Another horsey coming out. So yeah, a lot of mana, very small creatures. Coming over with his elf. It's an island. So we just counter attack here. Another source to plowshare on that horse. So at least he uses those source to plowshares here. Though it makes him capable of being the only guy that does damage at this point. Okay, sinkholing his Savannah. I think I was afraid of a Serra Angel at this point. I wanted to crack him out of double white and disenchanting his green marks. Yeah, and that's also because, again, I think it's an Spider-Geddon variant, so I want to... he has a lot of non-land mana out there, so as to why. So if you cast one, so frustrating, so much mana and just keeps drawing into those tiny horses. But I suppose it's better than nothing, right? Comes over with the factory, with the elf, and I'm counter-attacking with the flying horse. Okay, Underworld Dreams coming out here. So, pulling slightly ahead. At least, I can also do some damage with those horses. So, yeah, now I'm doing 2 points of damage to him, and he'll only do 1 to me. And I have healed a bit from those horses that went to go farm from those swords to plowshares. Another elf coming out, and yet another swords to plowshares. That's 3 horses that's just gone over to farm straight out of the game there. Ancestral Recall, trying to get into something here, something we can actually play, a creature. Taking a point of damage from that City of Brass. Regrowthing, oh look at this, regrowthing, and then there's an Underground Sea too. Even more cards, it's 2 Ancestral Recalls in a row here. Black Lotus, so much mana, it's incredible. What's that, a Singa Vampire, finally something. Just sacking the Lotus straight out just to be able to play the Vampire a turn earlier. That's the, are you kidding me? 4th Swords to Plowshare used here, at least he must be out, right? So yeah, that's a whole stack of creatures out of the game there. And I seem to mostly be drawing into mana and Moxen, and that's a double Ancestral Recall, but everything has been spent. No creatures. Except the 4 horses. Ooh, there's a giant spider right there. Look at that. Perhaps... okay, there's a factory to block the elves with. The Singa Vampire would have been very nice to block those critters, because it grows whenever it kills a creature, so it will be very dangerous to a suicide attack against them. Okay, let's see. Yep, nailing the spider. The first creature he plays that was actually used with a Chaos Flip, because might be annoyed that I don't have that many creatures, but he hasn't drawn that much either. Only those elves. Okay, but there's a Serra Angel though. Right after I used my Chaos Orb. I said another factory, but I can't attack, and the Serra Angel, she doesn't tap when she attacks. So she can just attack and then stay back, killing my factories. This is not very good at all. Nothing. Okay, at least he takes a few points of damage from that Underworld Dreams. Another Angel, and then there's the Armageddon. Ouch. Okay. And okay, there goes the factories as well. At least I have a lot of Moxen. But he has a single Serra Angel and a couple of elves to punish me with. He didn't play the other elf. He just reckoned that he wanted the Armageddon earlier. And he can actually play, if he draws another mana source, he can play the Angel next turn. Wheel of Fortune here, yeah, I suppose I gotta do it. 2 lands and a disenchant, and he had a regrowth and a Serra Angel, so I'm glad to get rid of it. And he also takes 7 points of damage here from the Underworld Dreams. So, okay. But I need to draw a balance of something here. I have a white Mox untapped, I think. Sol Ring. Yeah. Nope. A bunch of lanes, a single Jusum Djinn, nothing that could save me from that Angel. So, Spider-Geddon takes the first one here. 1-0. This is round 2 after sideboard. As always, starting off with a Mesa Pegasus. No Swords to Plowshare this time though, as a bird. Attacking for a single point of damage. Oh yeah, bolt the bird. And another horse. Okay, this is a lot of momentum here. I seem to draw all the horses, in a row here. Okay, an elf and a Mox Pearl. So he can actually cast Armageddon next time. But I'm racking up a lot of points with those Mesa Pegasi, counting them up, all the damage I do. Okay, Jin coming out. This is very good. Full speed ahead. Okay, takes control of the Jin. Counterattacks with the elf, as I'm now open to attack. So we need a disenchant or a red blast here. I can't see, I don't have any white mana actually, so I can't disenchant and I can't Swords to Plowshare. We need a red blast from that Badlands. Doesn't seem like I have it. That wasn't part of the plan, just snatching with a control magic my Jin here. Okay, so I suppose we better get some work in. Poking him with the horse, netting me another point in terms of the Pegasus tournament. And I have a blocker for the Jin now. If I haven't spent that bolt on the mana bird, I could have double blocked the Jin and then bolted it. Would have been really expensive, but I would have been rid of it at least. Talk about eating your own medicine here, right? Yeah. No, okay, don't block the Jin. I like to try and take the elf out with me. I probably reckons that whenever he draws an Armageddon, he'll play it, and I need to get rid of just one of those elves before he does so. Strip Mine, taking out the Badlands, that's a good pick. And then following up with the Sushi, oh man. We need something here, balance. Okay, another Badlands. No white mana sources. What do we have here? Sinkhole. Taking the Tropical Island out. That makes sense as well. Okay, but that's some very, very big critters there. Blocking the Jin, I suppose, taking 4 points of damage from that robot coming lumbering over and punching me. Next turn, that'll be 9 points of damage. We need something here. Time Twister. Oh, and he power sinks it. That's so mean. Very, very cheeky. 9 points of damage. I'm at 1 point of life. So we need to draw as a Swords to Plowshare, but no white mana. Doesn't matter, and it wouldn't be enough anyway. So killed with my own Jin. That's poetic justice. And yeah, Giant Spider made good on his playmat here, devouring at least one of the eels. This is what we sideboarded here. A couple of control magics and power sinks and sushis from him. And we can't really see my cards, but there's a couple of sushis there at least. Probably reckoning that it would be easier to cast them with colorless mana after he will likely have bombed my board state on all my lands away time and again. So yeah, this is another match from where he has control magic on, I think, of Force of Nature, and this is the player of the Smash Talk just being disgusted with the captain of Team Giant Spider. So kudos to Jesper, really punching me down here. And after this I'll be hooking up with Jens Ole, who has an SD card from another camera, and I'll see what's on that. There'll be plenty of games from the Swiss, and I'll just keep them rolling. So, so long for this time, and I will see you in the next one.